Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the opportunity to join your celebrations to mark the Kingdom of Bahrain's National Day. I offer my and the British government's heartfelt congratulations. These are unprecedented times. None of us expected 2020 to unfold as it did. We have all faced the challenges of the COVID pandemic, including keeping our population safe and grappling with the economic impacts. Bahrain has shown masterful leadership, navigating a successful response to COVID with great resilience. And I note Bahrain's successful hosting of the latest Formula One race and the iconic Manamah Dialogue, where the UK was represented by the Home Secretary and Chief of the Defence Staff. The UK will not forget the friendship of Bahrain in helping to return British nationals home at the start of the pandemic. I recently visited Bahrain and was delighted to have a warm meeting with Foreign Minister Al Zayani. It was a great time of sadness following the death of Bahrain's long-serving Prime Minister, Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, and I was honoured to pass on the British government's condolences. UK-Bahrain relations have never been stronger. We work closely on regional issues, including the normalisation of relationships with Israel. We have a strong and lasting defence and security partnership. The UK is a steadfast partner for Bahrain as it pursues its reform agenda. Trade between our two countries continues to reach new heights. I congratulate Bahrain in taking on the GCC presidency in 2021 and hope this will be an opportunity to grow the UK's trading partnership with the Gulf even more. It was under Bahrain's 2016 presidency and through Bahrain's leadership that we launched the UK-GCC strategic partnership. The 2021 marks an important milestone in the Kingdom of Bahrain's history, its 50th anniversary, and I look forward to helping you celebrate the occasion next year.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to welcome you to this online celebration of the Kingdom of Bahrain's National Day 2020. Thank you all for joining us as we reflect on the most unusual of years. I want to start by expressing my appreciation for the many messages of condolences Bahrain has received from our British friends on the sad passing of the late Prime Minister, His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, a visionary leader and a true friend of the United Kingdom. As we mourn his loss, we know that his legacy will always live on in Bahrain's progress and development, and in hearts of all the Kingdom's friends. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that 2020 has been a challenging year for many reasons, most notably the COVID pandemic, which forces us to hold today's event online. But even in the face of all these challenges, our two countries' shared values shine through. In responding to the pandemic, for example, both our countries have made every effort to save lives and protect the vulnerable. So in Bahrain, our free and high-quality testing and healthcare is available to all. Regardless of nationality, we moved quickly to support those affected, including rehousing some expatriate workers in social distancing compliant accommodation. And we have provided an average of 14,000 free meals per day for those most vulnerable. We've also worked closely with the United Kingdom to repatriate British nationals, and I was delighted by the most recent announcement of a travel corridor between our two countries. Internationally, the signing of the Abraham Accords and the establishment of diplomatic relations with Israel has opened a new chapter of opportunity for our region and a real prospect of a lasting peace and prosperity in the Middle East. Recognizing that old ways have failed to achieve regional peace or resolve the Palestinian issue, Bahrain had the courage to chart a new path based on its long culture of openness, coexistence, and dialogue. We are confident that a genuine warm peace will benefit all the peoples of the region, and already we can see words being put into action with the establishment of direct flights, the availability of online visas, and the opening of embassies in the near future. Here too, the strong continued support of the United Kingdom has been greatly appreciated and underlines the many interests of principles we share. In the coming year, as the world begins to recover and rebuild from the pandemic, our Bahrain-UK friendship will be more important than ever. With the new opportunities presented by Brexit, and with Bahrain assuming the presidency of the GCC, there is enormous potential to expand our bilateral ties in investment, tourism, trade, and so much more. And because international cooperation will be essential in the post-COVID world, I have no doubt that Bahrain and the United Kingdom are well placed to fully deliver this potential. Ladies and gentlemen, despite all the challenges of last year, I am more confident than ever in the depth and strength of our country's friendship. And when, inshallah, we meet in person in 2021 National Day, I have no doubt we will look back and appreciate just how strongly we have bounced back from this terrible pandemic and just how much we continue to achieve together. Thank you.
Bahrain enjoys a long and diversified historical legacy and is home to 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Bahrain Fort, or Qal'at al-Bahrain, has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list in 2005, while the Pearl Trail and Dilmun Burial Mounds have been listed in 2012 and 2019 respectively. Bahrain also has 6 sites that are currently under UNESCO's preliminary list. A leading figure in culture and art scenes, Her Excellency Sheikh Hamay bint Mohammed Al Khalifa, the President of the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities, has been leading national efforts in the Kingdom of Bahrain to develop the cultural infrastructure for heritage conservation and the growth of sustainable tourism. Bahrain has many remarkable archaeological and historical sites which reflect its rich history and civilization. And the first site to be inscribed in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list was Qal'at al-Bahrain, which resides on an archaeological hill built more than 4,000 years ago and is known to be the center of the Dilmun civilization.
موقع قلعة البحرين يعتبر سجلاً لكل الحقب التي مرت بها المنطقة، وإدراج هذا الموقع في قائمة التراث العالمي ليكون أول موقع يدرج في المملكة له حدث هام نحتفل به ونسعى لتوظيف كل الموقع بحيث يخدم الزوار ويحقق لنا السياحة الثقافية. نعلم أن الأوطان أو السياحة لا تتحقق إلا بالموروث الثقافي، وهذه هي الرسالة التي نمررها لكي نحافظ على هويتنا ونصل بالمعلومة الصحيحة إلى المتلقي، إلى السائح. الكل يعلم أن الثروات الطبيعية هي الثروة الحقيقية لكل الأوطان.
The kingdom is also a modern and forward-looking country that embraces the future but also values its roots and its history. It is this balance between old and new, between modernity and tradition, the appreciation of the past and an enthusiasm for the future that makes Bahrain special.
Of course, it's an honor to be here at Abdullah Al Zayed House for Press and Heritage. This place is a reminder of who Abdullah Al Zayed was, the founder of Bahraini Press. I was privileged to give a lecture here, but I was also privileged to see these great names on the walls of this house. Bahrain's press industry started 8 decades ago, and it has been a successful industry because it has been the platform through which Bahraini journalists have expressed their opinion. I'm honored to be the president of Bahrain Journalists Association, an association that was established 2 decades ago, and I was lucky to be the first woman elected to be president of this amazing organization, non-governmental organization and entity. Of course, Bahrain Journalists Association involves the membership of Bahraini and non-Bahraini journalists, and this is just a simple gesture to show that we believe that we all have a role to play, and it doesn't matter what nationality or what background we come from. We have 6 local newspapers, daily newspapers in Bahrain. 4 are in Arabic, 2 are in English. We have tens of magazines that are published on weekly and monthly basis. Bahrain has witnessed many changes. It will continue to. We will always, as journalists, have challenges, but we will always have goals and objectives, and I'm confident that we will all achieve that.
The Kingdom of Bahrain is a melting pot of cultures and cuisines, with a population that is made up of young and ambitious men and women. The thriving food scene in the Kingdom of Bahrain is known to be one of the best and most competitive in the region, with local restaurants competing on an international level. In recent years, we have witnessed a wave of young women entering the food scene with full force, and the openness of this progressive nation has helped pave the way to their success.
Started at home with my dad and going to markets. Then did my own home business, Baked by Tea, where I made brownies and stuff. Then came to the Gulf Hotel, and I've been here for 6-7 years. And throughout that, started peeling onions and potatoes, and now have my own restaurant.
And where did you study fine arts?
London, yeah.
And
Oh, haha, London. Amazing. First of all, I miss Borough Market. Borough Market is like one of my favorite Sunday things to do, I guess. You know, you go, all the smells, the sounds, the market, the veggies, all the creativity. Like, their food is it's a melting pot, you know? It's kind of like Bahrain. We have everything, and they have everything, so. Fusions by Tala. Fusions is not a word I selected. I'll say that much. I feel like it's a word that can be played around with too much, sometimes negatively, but what I'm trying to do is modernize Middle Eastern cuisine, specifically Bahraini, Khaliji, kind of give it this culinary renaissance that all other cuisines have had, and we haven't yet. I want to put our food on the map, and I want to elevate it from just comfort food to Michelin one day.
I'm Lilwa Sweleh. I'm a Bahraini chef. I work at Wolfgang Puck. I started 10 years ago. I studied in the Royal Academy of Culinary Arts in Jordan. That was a scholarship after working 2 years in Bahrain here. I started off in Crown Plaza as a line cook, and from there I grew up. They took me to Jordan to improve my education and learn more about the science of the food. And from there, I did some trainings in Spain and in Hong Kong. I worked under Michelin star chefs.
I started 2016, so it's been 4 years. Yeah, past 4 years. Because most are old stuff. They are like since beginning, more than 10 years, above 15, 17. Why they stay? They're happy to work in Bahrain. For me, just 4 years. It means stay new.
In Adliya, also known as Block 338, you will come across some of the best restaurants on the island, clustered along a cobbled street. Adliya is the epicenter of the food scene in Bahrain, located strategically in the heart of Manama. And there you'll find almost any cuisine you can think of, from Korean to Peruvian.
I am making the Bahraini tikka, which is my own version of it. So it starts with a black line, which is homemade, lumi. What I'm doing different is that instead of using a cheaper cut of meats like beef or lamb, like a cheaper cut, I'm using a sirloin, which is more fatty. So yeah, I just clean the inside of the meat, marinate the tikka with it, and keep it overnight and grill it. I feel like it's local, and usually it's served with garlic, the onion, and I charred them on the grill. You wouldn't want it directly on the flame, and that's how the gas smell comes in and the gassy taste. So, fried butter. So this yogurt bread, actually a shikeen, a chef with me, he was living in Bahrain the past 20 years, and his specialty is bread. And I told him I want to do a bread that tastes exactly like khubz khabbaz bread. So you see the bubbles coming out? That's a good bread. That's a good bread. So once this happens, I lift it up عشان ما يحترق. But the bubbles are a really good sign. That's what you want. There we go. Do you want more? I like Bahraini food to be simple. The way it is, it's not anything fancy. It's not made like a pyramid shaped, you know. So it's I like it simple.
Muharraq, known as the capital of Islamic culture due to its inherently rich heritage, is where you'll find restaurants focused on local Bahraini cuisine. The Bahraini halwa is the most prominent dessert of the kingdom, which is constantly exported to neighboring countries for a sweet taste of Bahrain. One of the main dishes in Bahrain is the machboos, a spiced chicken and rice dish cooked in a broth with a blend of spices.
اليوم رح نبتدي معاكم مكبوس دياي بحريني. بداية قصصنا الدياي، بننقع نخلي الدياي يفوح، بنحط شوية بصل. احنا مكبوس البحرين مالنا جدا بسيط وجدا لذيذ. بزار البحرين بنحط فيه قفشة واحدة، قفشة وشوي، واحنا نقول نعبطه شوي. هذا عبطناه. الدياي مالنا ابتدى يفوح، زين شلنا الزبد اللي فوقه ونملحه شوي. عبا ما يستوي الدياي مالنا بنسوي الحشوة مالتنا، نخي عيش، وعندنا زبيب، وعندنا بصل، هيل، دارسين، وعندنا ماي ورد ويانا. بعد مكبوس بدون حشوة ما له حلاوة. ونضيف له شوية ملح على اساس بس شوي يلين لنا البصل مالنا، مثل ما سوينا الدياي شلون، طريقة بسيطة وحلوة وخفيفة. نفس الشيء الحشو ما يبي له شيء. كهو هذا البصل مالنا، بنحط له شوية دارسين، بنحط عليه الزبيب مالنا، شوية ماي ورد. هاي تقريبا الحين الحشو مالنا شبه استوى. بس وقت اللي بتقدمونه تقدرون تحطون على وجه العيش. هاي طلعنا الدياي بنحطه في بايركس. والحين احنا عندنا منقوع الماي والزعفران، نطيبه بالماي والزعفران، ونحط عليه شوية ذرة هيل، وندخله الفرن تقريبا لمدة ربع ساعة على درجة حرارة من تحت وفوق، زين، على اساس بس من يتحمر نصير نحطه فوق وجه الجدر. عليكم بالعافيه ان شاء الله. طبعا دياينا الحين عقب ما تحمر شلون، وتشوفوا ما شاء الله العيش مالنا شلون. وهذه في النهايه هذا الشكل النهائي للمكبوس البحريني مالنا، وعليكم الف عافيه.
Every December, the Kingdom of Bahrain lights up in celebration of the National Day. During this festive season, food markets take over the island, bringing family and friends together to spread the joy and share the food. Whether you like fish and chips, burgers, or a vol-au-vent, the Kingdom of Bahrain can satisfy all your cravings with arms wide open. We hope to see you in Bahrain soon. Happy National Day